Hello everybody and welcome back to the video on my YouTube channel. I'm Nicholas and today we are continuing our EXO discography reactions. Just last week we have actually wrapped up my catching up on EXO series and we have now checked out every single EXO music video for me to check out, and that means we're now left with obviously lots of live performances and all that kind of stuff, but most importantly the rest of the discography, and that are the albums. And the only EXO albums I've reacted to thus far, my first one was Don't Fight the Feeling, their most recent one, and then we went back to the beginning with the Mama, with the first mini album, and that means the next album up in line for me to check out and review is packed with 11 B-sides overall, and that is EXO's first full album, EXO XOXO slash with the repackaged title Growl, because yeah, it was originally released with Wolf as the title track and then repackaged with Growl, and overall released with 11 B-sides, and that is obviously a huge number. And there are several things beforehand that I don't know yet that I will have to just see, because obviously 11 songs is a lot. How will I be able, how will I be uploading this? Can I put it all in one video? Will copyright allow that? But even if it does, how long will that video be? Will it be over 1 hour? Definitely. Will it be nearly 2? Who knows? I'll have to see about that, if I will just split it into 2 parts, because it would just be too long for one video, or whatever's gonna happen. Obviously now for me myself right now, am I going to be reacting to all 11 songs in one sitting? I can't tell that yet, because obviously it's warm and everything, and talking non-stop for like 60-70 minutes or so is quite exhausting. So I don't know if halfway through I'm saying, okay, I'm taking a break now and react to the rest later, because I don't want to rush through the last ones because I'm running out of breath and everything. So yeah, a lot I will have to see in the upcoming few minutes, because I'm just diving in now. Okay, I'm just diving in now and just react and see how things will, how we'll feel like midway through, and then decide, okay, what we're going to be doing. The only other thing I need to say before we get started with the first song is that I am, just like for all the other early albums and just like I did for the first mini album Mama, I will only be reacting to the EXO version slash the Korean versions of all the songs. I've explained before already that I don't really care what language it is, but given that all the members that are here in EXO are still with the group and everything, and that just usually K-pop I listen to is Korean as well, it just makes more sense for me to react to the EXO versions, and there's just really no point in listening to the same song twice in just a different language. It's unfortunate for the 3 members that are still with the group, Soleil, Jyimina, and Chen, but it's okay. Okay, it's not the biggest issue. That's what we're going for, only the Korean versions. Enough though, we have mentioned so much to go through already, 3-minute long intro, so let's stop the talking and let's start the reacting. The first B-side of this album is EXO XOXO, which obviously makes a lot of sense. And no, wait, what does XO mean? Is this kisses and hugs, something like that? I don't know. It's quite a love related meaning or whatever. We'll just go through it all. So let's get into it, okay? First B-side, EXO XOXO. Obviously great wordplay with the group name. Let's go. Oh, and to get me a bit easier through this long recording session. Quite playful instrumentally here, actually. Oh, that was a very unhyped chorus drop here. Ooh, all the background vocals here though. It kinda has a, not even a jazzy touch, but the keys in this are really nice. Bacon's warm voice. Then Zero straight after that with the more brighter vocal tone. The voices in EXO. First song, and I can just immediately repeat that again. But now the bells coming in here, signalizing it's a pre-chorus. And then... I see. That's cool. You know, a very full chorus picture with a very full melody. It's such a bright, playful tone. Whew. The EXO-K lineup is so balanced though. Like we have... Oh! The DL background vocals! Oh, that's catchy though. EXO, 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 EXO. That's catchy. The background vocals of this though. Is it just DO? I think so. That is my boy. I mean, Dio was flexing throughout this, okay? Holy moly, those background vocals, especially in the finale of the song, like from the bridge on into the final chorus. Wow, okay. So EXO XOXO is a great showcase of, like mentioned, how great of a balanced lineup EXO-K is. Like mentioned, don't have a I don't have any experience with EXO-M, so I can't really compare that here. But like we got 3 vocalists and we got 3 rappers, you know. I mean, it just really works well together, you know. Like mentioned, we have such this nice vocal measuring as well, you know, where the voices are like very distinguishable from another, like have such different tones and colors. It just really works well together, okay? This EXO-K level just really works well. EXO XOXO is a very playful sound, okay? It's like neither too heavy, but it still has a very good beat and pacing to it, but it's also not too soft nor like a too typical love sound or anything. It has such a good mixture of many things that just really work well together, okay? The verse picture is cool. We have, like mentioned, an actually very you know, even volume picture throughout the entire song, you know, because like mentioned was at first like, oh, we're in the pre-chorus already, you know, because the only way we differentiated the pre-chorus from the verse was by adding in some belts, okay? We added some nice soft little belts in there to say, okay, this is the pre-chorus now, and then we go, like mentioned, over into the choruses, which is a mixture of group harmonizing, which is a classic EXO and SM thing to do, with some single member ad-libs thrown in, and then more single member delivery straight after that. And that really works well, okay? It's a very full song without any too big switch ups, or, you know, it's like not really an exciting song either in the sense of, you know, it's really hype or really fast or anything. It's such a very well-paced, fun track to just vibe to, you know? Not too slow, not too fast, not too hype, not too soft. It really is a great middle ground, and this is therefore probably a very good opening to the B-sides. Like mentioned, I think Wolf is the first song on the album, then comes Growl. I personally prefer Growl totally above Wolf. I was really never able to really listen to Wolf too much, I don't know, because these ad-libs were just a bit too, I don't know, it wasn't really my thing. But Growl, like mentioned, was really excellent. But EXO XOXO kicks off the B-sides really nicely. And like mentioned, that bridge picture though, the way we have, like mentioned, the Sehun and Chanyeol verse there, I think it's actually more of a third verse rather than a typical bridge. But the way Dio's background vocals come in there in the background is so good. And like mentioned, it's a very simple beat picture too, you know? Awesome! And they just keep going throughout the entire chorus here. Like mentioned, post sketch actually. So EXO, EXO, EXO. has background vocals going on throughout the entirety of this finale section, and it's awesome. I mentioned a lot of snaps in there too that just sound really nice. It's such a nice song. I think this is really the best way to describe this opening. It's such a nice song. It's not too fast, not too slow, not too hard, not too soft. It's just a perfectly evenly matched sound with good flowing, with nice vocals in there too. The chorus is catchy. It's like mentioned, there's no big spike, powerful moment or something in between. It's really just nice and comfortable. It's such an easy listen. I think that's really the best way to describe the song. It's such an easy listen that the thing works all the time. I think this is definitely the type of song that you don't need to be in the mood for, you know. You can just vibe with it all the time. And that's always a great choice for a B-side. And I think this was one of the new songs that they added for the repackaged version, you know. They always add like not only a new title track with like 2 or 3 new B-sides. This was one of them, and really, really nice. Okay, EXO Case, XOXO. That was really, really nice. That was nice. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. Like mentioned, simple beat picture too, you know, snaps, some nice keys in there and everything. The bass, like mentioned, also like mentioned, good. Why do you say mention so often though, you know? Like I say, like mentioned, and then mention straight after that. I definitely got to work on that, but either way, nice opening. Really, really enjoyed that. Our second B-side is Lucky, and that's quite interesting because we've already reacted to Lucky One, you know, which was one of the title tracks / one of the music video releases, but before that they actually released Lucky. And I actually have no issue with the fact that they're like reusing titles like that, because how many songs has EXO released now already? Are we close to triple digits? Are we close to 100 songs? Maybe? I don't know. But like at one point you would just run out of creative titles. Okay, you will just, you know, that's why I don't really have too much of an issue with it. And let's be honest, at the end of the day, who cares what the title of the what the title of a song is? It's all about the song itself. That's what we're diving into our second of 11 B-sides. EXO's Lucky. The old vocals to kick us off. Oh, this is such an old school flavor to it. Kylo Register. He sounds different here though. I think Kai really developed and improved his delivery throughout the years. Oh yeah, this is definitely has a retro flavor to it. Kind of a spacey tone. Ooh, yeah. The way the keys are implemented here, it is like mentioned, a bit more spacey tune. What does it remind me of? Actually, like early 2000s pop, yeah. Which is not really retro, you know, but like for me already quite a while ago. Oh, that was quite the quick burst though. Ooh, that second section of the chorus though. The way the line kicks in there is really good. I'm expecting a not a rap influence bridge / third verse though. Oh yeah, that second chorus part where first Dio and afterwards Bacon comes in. Like first Dio in the first half and then Bacon, but ooh, the keys again though, so nice. Ooh. Bacon vocals in the background. Ooh, this bass is so nice though. Definitely a mover. Oh! EXO is such... EXO's just so easy to listen to. Unless we have, like mentioned, these very greedy instrumentals or anything like that. But the voices in EXO just have such a comfortable tone to them. That's why EXO's just always... It's always a nice experience to listen to the EXO songs that way, because they just have great voices. Two things. Actually, four things. Two things I need to say that I actually wanted to add at the beginning, though, that I actually forgot to do already. First of all, big thank you to Jyimina PJ, who did lyric videos for all these B-sides like only 2 years ago or something like that. You know, I love these channels that like go ahead and like do lyric videos for very, very old albums, simply because back at the time it just was common. So big shout out here at first. And the same thing I wanted to say actually is that I think this album was the first album in over a decade to reach over 1 million sales in the K-pop world. You know, that's where you see how big EXO really was at that point already. But now back to the song, okay? That's like, man, I forgot to add that at the beginning. Lucky is very different to Lucky 1, okay? Lucky is a song that definitely feels like a B-side in the way it was produced, because the majority of the song is definitely the chorus, which is good. It's a very full chorus. You do the full version 3 times as well. Like mentioned, it didn't even feel like we had a second verse in there. It felt like, you know, we just immediately jumped back over in there. Yeah. Isn't that the only... Like, that's more of a interlude slash outro. Was the second verse really just like 10 seconds, or was it actually just a pre-chorus there? I don't know. The focus of the song is clearly on the chorus, and that often signalizes, you know, it's more of a song that we, you know, not like quickly produce in between or something like that, but you definitely feel it's more of a B-side in that way. Not saying it's not good or anything, but like mentioned, when we have like such a strong presence of the chorus throughout the entire song, which is it takes up the majority of the song, then you just know it's not as polished or like as detail filled as other songs. You know, there just aren't that many highlights in the song outside of the chorus. The rest, it's still a good and nice sound though, because again, very comfortable vocal picture from everybody here. Like expected, after we didn't have Chanyeol, Sehun throughout the entirety of the song, we will be getting them for the bridge slash third verse again, which really worked. Dion Baker, like mentioned, just have always these nice backing vocals implemented in it too, and still also sounded good. But like I mentioned here, Kai's low register here in the beginning was quite cool, but it definitely feels to me like, now after listening to 2 songs again, like I mentioned, I've already listened to the 2012 songs as well. I feel like guys like Bacon, Dio, and Chanyeol, especially, I think they really, at that point already, really had like a very perfectionized sound and delivery. You know, like if I compare these 3 especially like to nowadays, how they nowadays sound, I don't really feel a big of a difference. Like, not in sense of, you know, they never improved, but like because they were already at such a strong and basically very safe level early on. For Kai, it feels like his delivery here is not as polished yet. It's still good, but I feel like he's gotten so much better. Like, just comparing the delivery from this song alone to like now his 2 albums that he's released in the past 2 years, big difference, okay? I still listen to his first mini album a lot, especially at night. You know, it's such a great night vibe to it. It's really a good listen, especially at like 1, 2 a.m. or something like that. So listen to easily like once a week or so. And there you like really feel how much more improvement he's went through, you know? Like Bacon, Channel Dio were, especially at that point, already very stable, and then kind of like mentioned, maybe it was really due to his solo work to really like helped him perfectionize that. But even in other older music video releases like Coco Bob Now, or even Lucky One as example, I feel like he really went through a lot of improvement here. Like mentioned, started already good, but I feel like he's reached such a strong level in the future, okay? Slash now in the present, you know? I feel like that's very noticeable to me. Like, you just really feel it in the way he delivers his lines and the way he delivers the words. There's just much more confidence in there nowadays as there was back then, you know? Which is totally okay, because wasn't that still in there not in their rookie year exactly, but like it was still very early on in their career. Like they debuted just around 1 year before that. So you know that's still insane to see how good they all already were at that point. And yeah, Lucky, like mentioned, it's a very easy listen yet again. It's kind of a retro pop flavor to it, which in this case actually feels more like a very typical charts pop sound, which like mentioned, it's totally fun. You know, it really works well as a B-side, but like mentioned, doesn't have that many highlights as other songs now may have. But it's still a good listen and therefore still enjoyable. Okay, second B-side, Lucky. Dig that. We have 9 more to go through. Oh boy, will I be able to do all 9 in one item, all 11 in one item? We will see. The next song is actually... Yeah, the next song, the third B-side, is Baby Don't Cry. And this time around we don't have Kai and Sehun in this because it's a unit song, which is like would have made sense like maybe because with 3 vocalists and 3 rappers to like do that way, but no, we have 4 in there. We have Suho, Bacon, Chanyeol, and Dio. So probably another Chanyeol rap bridge, maybe, we will see. And with their song, yeah, Baby Don't Cry. Sounds probably a bit ballady. You already know that one song on this album will be very ballady, which is I think Don't Go. I recently had it on Queendom 2 that was covered there, so I'm expecting that to be a full ballad. Let's see if Baby Don't Cry is the same way. What will it be? Let's find it out, okay? Third B-side. Let's go. Very lovely long intro. Ooh. I think this heartbeat like bass in the background. Oh. Ooh, I love the way he pronounces that, or they pronounce that. Like Bacon is definitely the forefront here, but it's everybody. Such weird sound effects here and there, though. Like this, you know. The piano feels a bit haunting, though. Ooh. Well, now the verse picture is much more forward, with the bass in there now and some snaps. Ooh, lovely to see. Love to see such a lengthy whole line there. You know the sound effect? Actually, not that one. In the chorus. You hear that? This, it sounds like a... Can't even explain it. What is that? But... Background vocals. Such a long full chorus again here in this group harmonizing way. Oh. What is the sound effect? Ooh, love that. Ooh. Well, I love this low volume flow here. Ooh, now this back to back with Dio here. Those background vocals! Oh, even 2 now! Oh, it was just 1 O? Okay. I love the way they pronounce this cry. The way they drag the word there. Oh! We don't do the chorus again, right? sound more of an outro. Now back to just a piano. Oh, what a lovely long outro too. Long intro, long outro, you know, I love that. Okay. A very, very long build up ballad, you know, the type of ballad that like starts very, very simple and then just gets more full as time goes on and has like a big climax at the end, you know. Baby Don't Cry. Okay, I really, really enjoyed that. Like, we had a lot of cool things going on, you know, like the Chenya Dio harmony moments in between, with then the back-to-back at the end too. Suho getting a bit more longer vocal sessions here, which, you know, doesn't happen too often, at least in these early songs. Wasn't it Suho back at, or was it Sehun? I already forgot. Back in the Mama album reaction, I remember one of the members had one word of lines in the entire song where I was like, you can't be serious, okay? So yeah, it's nice to hear Suho a bit more, yeah, these language sections, right? Well, it's because it's always a difference of just one line in comparison to two, you know? Like, hearing a voice for like 10 seconds in a row rather than just 5 or so really makes a difference. We still gotta check out that second and first mini office, right? Okay, Baby Don't Cry, like mentioned, has quite a haunting piano in this. At least it just doesn't really sound like really soft or like really cheerful. It kind of is more of a sad tune to it, which obviously fits because Baby Don't Cry, right? Other than that, we have a quite not really weird, but a different sounding guitar in there, you know, but like that one sound element in the chorus the entire time, which like this, you know, like it's twice in or so. I really can't even tell you what instrument it is. It sounded a bit, not really out of place, but it definitely stands out, and otherwise, again, more simple instrumental picture. And like mentioned in classic build-up, and the German word I have in my mind is Manier, which I think, what's the English translation? It happens so often. Sometimes I can't think of the German translation for a word, and sometimes the other way around. It's, being bilingual is not always easy. Fashion, actually not really, but that works, okay? In good old build-up fashion, you know, where it begins very slowly and very simple, and then the second half becomes way more forward with way more stuff going on. Again, a great voice showcase. Okay, they sound really good in this. D.O. back with the background vocals there at the end too. The chorus is, like mentioned, very full. Has again that very somewhat not even Actually, yeah, like mentioned, the keys were a bit more haunting to me, and the chorus actually kind of goes into that as well. You know, a bit of a, because the title and the message of the song, a bit of a suffering delivery. You know, this baby don't cry. You know, the way we hold that cry there too, right? The way we deliver that kind of really plays into that. So the way the song is ultimately produced really suits the theme and message and the idea behind the song itself. The last thing I really definitely want to point out was Chanyeol's, man, I have the mic and like stuff in front of me, so it's always a bit difficult to find exactly what I'm looking for in the taskbar. But yeah, Chanyeol's very low volume, somewhat whispery delivery here was really cool, you know? It's like a very big contrast to his usually more strong and confidential delivery, okay? So that really suited not just the sound, but just sounded really cool, okay? I like that a lot. Okay, Baby Don't Cry. I think that will definitely feel better with every listen, you know? Definitely a very satisfying song, long intro, long outro, everybody gets their shine in between, cool chorus too. That's definitely one that I'm very excited to listen to more in the future. But for now, really enjoyable, you know? Really dig that. And like mentioned, not a classic ballad in the sense of, you know, very sentimental, very emotional, anything like that. It really had a bit more of a darker tune to it, which was cool change of pace. I dig that. That was refreshing. Okay. We're already nearly 30 minutes for, oh boy. If we do it like that, okay, so around 10 minutes for every song, then this would go like nearly 2 hours. Oh boy, I don't think I can do this in one sitting. We will see. We're definitely still a lot more to go for. 8 songs overall. The 4th song is Black Pearl, and that title is intriguing. And I did read actually that apparently the album does have a bit of a fairy tale theme, because we'll have some songs in there later that will go a bit more into that direction too, from the title at least. We had Over the Wolf in there too, you know, so maybe it really is that way. But yeah, Black Pearl sounds dope. Black Pearl is a cool title, really makes me intrigued to see what it's about. Let's find it out. For B-side of EXO's first full album / repackage, Black Pearl. Let's go. Do they look young on these photos though? Boy. I mean, it makes sense. It was a decade ago, nearly. Ooh. Yeah. This constant violin picture with this very strong, gritty bass here. It's not even loud, you know? Such a different combination, bud. Oh! Oh! Okay, the lyrics are definitely a bit fantasy-like inspired, but what's this chorus? It's such a weird combination here. At least on first. Suho is getting a lot of shine thus far. I like that a lot. We're expecting a very heavy rap influenced bridge though. The way we all have the vocalist here again. The way the chorus comes in though. The first picture is like already so building. Then we get that powerful, loud explosion here basically. Well, I think this will definitely need some re-listens though, to like really get into it. I think this is a very, very niche sound picture. Oh! Damn, now we go full gritty dubstep. Oh, the way we increase the volume is nice. Dope high notes. The way it like mashed together with the beat there was cool. Ooh. One thing oh no, not again! Wait, did he even say anything? The first thing after this thing I'm wondering here is if whatever not Sehun had anything at all. Not Sehun, Shihun. Or is it Shehun or Sehun? Actually never checked that, but given I've always said Shehun and nobody ever comment anything about it, I guess it's fine. Okay, I do gotta check that though, because it felt like he didn't have anything in there. Okay though. Black Pearl is interesting. Black Pearl is really, really interesting. I think this is thus far. I think we had one of those songs on the Mama album as well already. I think it's a very, very niche sound picture. Okay, I think this is a very, very niche sound design this time around. Oh, I think you only got one line. Actually, Kai too. Oh wait, he was actually in the bridge there, okay. The rap line didn't really get too much here, okay. It wasn't just him, Kai only got it one line too. Whatever, okay, that's fine. Black Pearl is really interesting. It's really not your typical song, you know? But that's immediately makes it very cool for me because it's such a different approach and just a standout B-side alone due to that, okay? Because it has such a totally, at least for EXO, you know, at least in comparison to other EXO songs I've listened to, okay? Like, the way the beat is done, especially in the verse picture, is really, really interesting. We have, like, mentioned a bit of this continuous haunting... I'm using haunting a lot, but it kind of, like mentioned, plays a bit into this fantasy-like approach that I think I've read was the idea behind most of the album sounds. This... like, it's continuous and just keeps going, okay? And while we have the more not even like a gritty bass, but it's like mentioned not really loud. It's not. It's like mentioned more fun in the background, ready to burst out at any point, which then happens for the chorus. You know. Even the delivery here is like the verses are really one long build up. Like, you know, didn't really feel like with a pre-chorus in there or like a big, you know, tempo hype increase before the drop comes. Basically, the entire verse picture is a more atmospheric delivery that then, like mentioned, plays into this abrupt boom explosion type moment. Yeah, where the chorus kicks in, and that chorus actually sounds pretty dope. You know, the way we then actually go, like mentioned, very fast and everything. The electronic beat really goes crazy. It kind of has an epic feeling to it, though. Hey. Hey. It definitely has something epic to it. Hey. I do like these ad-libs in there, though, but... yeah, I think this is definitely a niche sound that I can't 100% judge yet. Like, I can't really tell you now straight away if I really like this or if I dislike or if it's not for me or either of it, okay? This will definitely need some re-listens. If only enough I actually thought about trying something out again that I once tried at one point but only did it for one video, where don't give you immediate thoughts like this right now, but instead only give you my initial reaction to the video, then listen to the album several times on my own, and then give you like more structured thoughts on several re-listens, because I've had many songs already that like feel good on first listen, that maybe aren't really my thing, that I can't listen to too much on re-listens, or the other way around. First it's not like, not really my thing, but then like, oh my god, I can't get enough of it, right? Cocoa Ball was actually a bit similar. I was at first like, okay, I think I kind of dig this, but I'm not 100% sure, and now it's one of my most listened to songs of the past week or so, you know? So maybe Blackpool will be the same thing. There are things in this where I'm like, hey, okay, I like this, okay, I'm digging what we're doing here, and other part is like, oh, that's a bit weird, that's a bit unusual, okay, I think I would need some time on this, I gotta feel this song a bit more, you know, because that's just how it is sometimes, and I feel like that's just how it is, especially with a lot of SM songs, like NCT Sticker, you know, one of the most controversial songs of last year. It's the same thing for me, right? First impression was like, hey, I think a good part of this, okay, but it's weird, you know? Like, your mind just isn't used to it, you know? Your mind and just your ears aren't really used to these type of song construction, the way the songs are delivered and everything. So once your ear just gets a bit more time to get used to it, it may start loving it, okay? And I think Black Pearl is definitely one of those songs and B-sides where I can't tell you yet now straight away that I hate this, nor love it, nor, you know, this will definitely need some more time, okay? This will definitely need some more time for me. Then, like mentioned with this big dubs, I didn't even saw his name pop up here. I don't know. I think I was too focused on the sound there and the dubstep and everything. I guess that's why I missed it. But yeah, Black Pearl is actually quite a short song, you know, just around 3 minutes. Plays a lot around with its instrumental. The instrumental is definitely the focus here on this, with a very different vocal delivery as usual too. Black Pearl needs some time. I will definitely need some more time on this song to really judge how I feel about it. I'll definitely need a bit more time with it. But it's okay. You know, not every song can immediately... You know, there, like mentioned, few songs that I immediately like, really dislike, and like, oh, I really want to listen to this again. I definitely want to listen to this again, though. To see, okay, is it something I can listen to a lot, or if it's just like, you know, a cool B-side in an album. You know, that's sometimes okay. Some B-sides are the ones I really pick out and listen to a lot on my own, you know, on loop or even that stuff. And some B-sides just, you know, I just leave them in the album and just enjoy them when the album comes on, you know, when I listen to the album, you know. We will see how Black Pearl will grow on me, you know. That's the best way to describe it. Fifth B-side on EXO's album is now the one, like mentioned, that I kind of know already. I've only listened to the performance of it once, though. It was performed on Queendom Season 2 a few weeks ago or so, and I know that this is another ballad. So let's waste not any more time with talking. Let's get to it. Oh, but also the Dio Haino was excellent in Black Pearl, though. That was really epic. Actually, it's more of a pop ballad, I think. You know, just the bass and everything, and the keys, the tempo, delivery. Genuine cut back to back is just... But I like how many member switch arounds we have here. we think we have everybody in here in the first half. I think this was one of the standout pieces of the album, like charting wise, if I remember reading that correctly. Oh, such a full and comfortable chorus. I think the Queendom version was actually way softer. It's actually way more upbeat. Tari now is really nice. Oh, Lofty said the group harmonies here now. Just sprinkled in there in the verse. I guess obviously that I didn't know about the song, how it was distributed, you know, and I'm thinking that. Oh, I like the way we have the full front vocal from one member with the others coming into the background a bit. That's really nice. That part exactly. That's so nice. Oh, the bridge just keeps going from the chorus, basically. EXO's voice. Oh. This is definitely one of those B-sides that I just talked about. And we have an outro. Not just ending it on the chorus there, but actually, you know. Oh, that was so nice. Oh, that was so nice. Man, I've said it in XOXO already, you know, which was like mentioned a more medium song instead of, you know, volume and everything. That's just a comfortable listen. EXO is just a comfortable group to listen to, unless you like mentioned do something more experimental like Black Pearl, where you then really go for something like this. It's such a nice listen, okay? The voices are just so good, and the production and mixing of, as like mentioned already back then, was just so clean. It's such a fantastic listen. Just on the pure sound picture, it's just so nice to listen to. But the song itself and the way it was done here, you know, the way like mentioned the voices were distributed and everything. I've always talked about it. Producers can play like Lego, you know, they have the voice available, they just gotta make something cool out of it. And I think the way we distributed this song here, like the way we gave the lines and everything, really worked well for me, okay? The chorus is so full and something so, what's a good word for it? Not even really cheerful, but it's like something so, you know, fulfilling about the chorus sound there, you know, like mentioned, especially when we have the forefront vocal from one member and the others just join in for like half a second there or so to really like empathize that specific part especially. That sounds so good, okay? And it's like mentioned more of a, I think like mentioned that the Queendom version was a bit more softer produced, and as always I think a remix like you don't really always 100% cover like the original. This is definitely a bit more upbeat, a bit more of a pop ballad, you know, so it's with the piano, everything, and the vocals and everything. It's definitely more into the softer ballad direction, but the sound itself is still upbeat enough and fast enough to like really not categorize it like a typical slow ballad, you know what I mean? And I see why Don't Go, I think, was one of those standout B-sides, which get covered on a show like Queendom even 10 years later, you know? Because it just has such a impeccable feeling to it. Like, something so fulfilling about it. And this is definitely thus far the B-side on this album that I can picture myself listening to outside of just the album the most. Like I mentioned, I said it for Black Pearl. There are some B-sides that I, like songs on an album that I like either love so much that I just listen to them even outside of the album. Some that I will, you know, just let them be in the album but enjoy them for that, you know? Like that I can listen to like once every hour but not like, you know, several times in a row, you know? Don't Go is definitely the first case here. Definitely the type of song, especially because it has, like mentioned, more of a calm feeling to it that I can 100% picture myself listening to a lot in a row, especially when it gets dark outside, you know? This year, like mentioned, I've really grown, or like I've really grown onto the softer side of K-pop, on the ballads, on the more softer chill songs and everything, especially when I, like mentioned, try to relax, because I just really need a lot of relaxing time to regain energy and everything, and songs like these are the perfect fuel for that. It's the perfect energy fuel, you know? Like, not in the sense of getting hyped and powerful and everything, like a song like Monster World as example, but it's the type of song that just refuels my inner peace. It refuels my inner peace, basically. You know, where I can just be like, I've listened to this song 3 times in a row, something like that. Let's continue with whatever I was doing at the time. Or like, let's get up and do something, you know? It's basically a song that gives me energy, not because it's like an energetic song that makes me want to dance or anything, because if anything, these type of songs drain energy from me because I gotta hype alongside with them. This is definitely the type of song that just refuels my inner battery. It's a refueler, basically. I think this is the first time I'm using this metaphor to call a song. It's definitely a refueler. Okay. Don't Go is awesome. Don't Go is awesome, man. Very excited to listen to this more. Definitely thus far probably my favorite B-side of this album, you know? I think this and XOXO definitely the most my thing for now. But yeah, Don't Go, really nice. Really nice, okay? We're now through around halfway, right? I think this was now the 5th song. Like mentioned, with 11 songs, it's very easy to lose track. Let me quickly check again. Either way, the next song is Let Out the Beast. Okay, and that already, you know, that now sounds like the total opposite. That definitely sounds like it would be a bit more heavier and a bit more aggressive this time around. When I look at the track list, yeah, that was the 5th B-side. Now we get over to the 6th, which is Halftime, okay? We've reached halftime now, and we are nearly 50 minutes already. Oh boy. Still have a lot of rocks to left, so maybe I can actually do this in one sitting. Who knows? I will see. I'm still feeling fine, so let's get to it. 6th B-side on EXO's first full album, / repackage, XOXO, Growl. Let Out the Beast. Give it to me. Come on, let's go. Oh yeah. Oh. Rap line, let's go. Ooh. Oh, everybody giving attitudes. Can never tame me. Oh. Oh, that must have a second chorus off. Come on, give me that second part. Huh? Okay. Okay. Definitely a calmer second half than I thought, but I do dig the pacing though, and delivery especially. It's like not a classic heavy rap song here, you know? There's still something atmospheric about it. You know? This kind of feels like, oh yeah, this chorus gives me a great picture in my mind, especially with the title in consideration. I will talk about it in a moment. Instinct that can't be hidden. I love those lines. Really play around the theme here. Let out the beast. Let out the beast. Let out the beast. That works for me. That works a lot for me. Oh, we even got the growl in there. Oh! We have a lot of gritty electronic music in this throughout the entire album. I think it was in early 2000s, early 2010s things for K-pop. Like Big Bang did that too. I'm not surprised, but ooh. Ooh. That was a great vocal, but we're back in the chorus. What's going on? How was that just... How was that... Well, wait, what? Okay, we had so much going on in this. Like... I've always talked about how there are songs that are like 4 minutes plus but don't feel like it, but then there are also songs that feel like they're over 4 minutes long but actually are not even 3.5 one, because we just had so much going on in this. Oh, okay. Let out the beast. Okay, that ending didn't confuse me. It definitely, you know, caught me a bit off guard because it was a very different ending to how you usually would do it here, which is cool, you know. Oh, let out the beast though. Lyrically, we really played around the title, you know, the beast, you know, you can't intimidate me by instincts and all that kind of stuff, you know, really, that's really cool. The song itself, like mentioned, definitely has more of a straightforward, aggressive energy. It's definitely the most, the most aggressive song of the album, you know, without even... You know, but it wasn't even like the most aggressive delivery they've done yet, you know. The delivery in some cases was still actually somewhat calm, you know, in comparison to some other songs. But what I, like mentioned, really enjoyed, like the chorus picture was like, especially the first one was like, okay, we're building towards the second one. It's towards the second chorus, 100%. And that did actually happen, but like wasn't really explosive, you know. That explosive sound that I expected for the second chorus then actually came at the end in the dance break, you know. That was really greatly built up to with that Sehun. I should definitely research that, you know. That was really cool down, okay? That was actually a dance break and a sound that, like mentioned, with this somewhat gritty dubstep. That really worked for me, you know? And I'm not even the type of person that loves dance break like that's too much, but I think it was really well implemented here. Especially because, like mentioned, I thought that would be the type of sound I would get in the second half of the chorus. Instead, we got something else. But now, what I, like mentioned, really enjoyed here, you know? The chorus sound in this. Like, what that kind of feeling that it gives me. You know what this kind of gives me? It's not only getting a little bit haunting, like mentioned, which I've also said for some previous sound parts and some of the previous B-sides on this album already, but like this first song of the chorus kind of gives me a stalking feeling, you know? Like, let out the beast. It's like we already have wolf and growl as tasks and everything. Like, they're like this pack of wolves surrounding you, you know? They're like currently like somewhat in a whispery tone, like getting ready to let out the beast, you know, like dun, 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 dun. That kind of gave me the feeling, you know, that gave me that picture in my mind where they're like really more calm, more like waiting for the right opportunity, and then boom, we're letting out the beast now, okay? That really was the thought that this gave me. And obviously I can't tell you if that's what they were going for, the producers or anything, but at least that's how it works for me. Sometimes that's enough, you know. Like, I recently had a song on the channel where I didn't know the lyrics or anything because there weren't subtitles. But, like, the way the song and the music video is done and everything, like, made me guess what the message and everything fully is. And even if that doesn't even end up to be exactly that, just the fact that it gives you those thoughts is worth enough alone, you know. So this is the case here now. You know, even if I'm not sure this is really what they were going for, just alone the thought of that it could be implemented that way, that they maybe wanted people to feel that way, that's already enough for me to appreciate the artistry behind the song, okay? That's already something that I really, really like about it. Like mentioned, Let Out the Beast, cool verse picture. The flow in this was really, really dope nonetheless. The chorus, like mentioned, is a bit lukewarm in the power, because especially in comparison to the dubstep dance break in between, then it just doesn't really have a big explosive punch. Something like Monster has as an example. Like mentioned, it's a bit more calm. It's a bit more, no? It's really a bit more lean back that way, while still having a bit of a haunting and a more aggressive undertone, you know? Like passive aggressive. That's definitely how you can call it there. Let Out the Beast is cool. And like I mentioned, the way we did the ending there and like combining choruses, so we only do the first half of the first chorus and then we do only the second part of the second chorus and mix that together, you know? It was really, it's a creative song. That's definitely something that I can really appreciate here. The way we play around with the title of the song and its lyrics. The dubstep bridge was cool. The verses were dope. The chorus was different, like how you would expect it to be, but it still worked the way, like mentioned this. Let out the beast. Let out the beast is dope too, and you can sing along as well, or rap it along too. There were a lot of good things in this song. There were a lot of positives in this song. But it's definitely also one that I think I need more time on to determine whether or not I love it or if I just enjoy it. Okay. Like not as clear as Black Pearl. I think that was definitely a bit more straightforward produced here, but I think I would definitely still need more reasons to really get into this, especially like mentioned, because the way the song was produced and constructed definitely needs a bit more reasons to 100% judge it. I'm excited for that. Okay, Let Out the Beast had a lot of cool stuff to offer. That was dope. I definitely dig that. Okay, but I do decide now to actually take a little break, because like mentioned, I'm not sure if 11 songs will be fine for the copyright, you know. So I think that now here the halftime is the best decision to make a little cut here. Will obviously be annoying for me to then mix those two parts together and then upload them in full to check if it works or not. But if like mentioned, I have to split it in two parts, and this is the best part to do it. So yeah, either this is now the end of part 1, and I will leave that in, or if it's not, then this is already cut out and you won't even hear it. Okay, so yeah, either bye, I see you later in part 2, or let's continue. And we are back to either a new video on this channel or with, yeah, just continue with the album like mentioned. I'm not sure yet if I will be able to upload everything at once or if I would want to do the video length. So yeah, either this is now part 2 as a new video or we just continue with the same video. Either way, I took a 30-minute break now, mostly really just to cool down a little. Because like mentioned, I've said it in the past, I live exactly under the roof. It's always a bit warmer in here than it is outside, and I got 2 lights there and another one shining halfway through to me as well. It's warm, okay, and the body heats up a lot, especially when I talk so much, you know, for nearly 1 hour straight. So just need a little bit of a cool down time to now be refreshed back into the 5 remaining songs of EXO's first full album slash repackage, EXO XOXO and Ground, you know? These 5 remaining songs are 365, Heart Attack, Peter Pan, Baby, and My Lady. And the next one, slash the first one now for maybe part 2, or just the 7th piece out overall, is 365. You know, 365, Days of the Year. You know, let's see what this type of feeling will be about. Like mentioned, thus far, the album has more of a classics, more electronic dance music influenced sound picture to it for the most part. Outside of the, like mentioned, more softer B-sides, you know, the ones that go more into the ballady direction. Let's see how the second half of the B-sides will look like, kicking things off for 365. 365. Let's go. Huh. Ooh. We have a bit of a soft rock influence this time. Where's the guitar? Even a rock one? Like an E-guitar? definitely stronger string. Oh. Oh yeah, it's a rock tone for sure, but ooh, I love the energy here. A bit more of a shouting chorus this time around. Oh, this chorus is nice. Oh, I love this. Very lighthearted verse sound. It's such a, you know, such a smooth delivery here. Like, it's really not soft, but just, oh. Okay, short a second off now, but oh, this chorus is good. I like the way we do the chorus bit too, though, but whoa, 3, 6, 5. That's cool. That's really, really cool. Very continuous tempo for the bridge now. Very similar to the verse picture. Ah, that was cool. You have that little instrumental interlude there before we jump back into things. 3, 6, 5. I mean, that's just, it's so simple. And that makes it so easy and catchy to do along. Whoa, 3, 6, 5. This chorus is dope. This chorus is amazing. Whoa, 3, 6, 5. Okay. 3, 6, 5. Okay, this is like the perfect example of a simple on-point B-side, okay? Like, you feel that it's a B-side, and that's not a bad thing. There are just some songs where you just know they are created to be a B-side on an album, you know? Not every song feels like a title track, because title track just needs to have specific feelings to really feel like one. This is definitely not the case here, but that's not a negative thing. 365 is that very, very similar case like we had earlier. I have the German word in my mind, but not the English one. Let me find it really quickly, because I think it's the best way to describe it. Is it lighthearted? No, I don't. Locker. No, I don't want the English word locker, but like the German word locker is like a to describe what I mean. It's really like just a, you know. I think lighthearted maybe is actually a good adjective to use here. It's such a lean-back, simple, fun track. It's not taking itself too serious, or it doesn't really sound serious either, nor is it really trying to be like, you know, like especially now after Let Out the Beast, which was a bit more intimidating and aggressive in the tone and delivery. 365 is just a fun time, okay? It's simple, it's effective, it just works, you know? It isn't the craziest sound, it isn't the loudest sound, nor is it like, you know, it just works. The chorus is so simple, but therefore so fun to do along. It's the shouting section in there, the chorus sound like mentioned is so... It's a really no exact translation for the word I'm looking for, or for the word I said. Is lighthearted really the best word to it? Maybe, okay? Maybe lighthearted really is the best way to describe it. You know, it's a soft, lovely rock sound that, like mentioned, it's really low volume. There's a really not full-on rock outside of the chorus, maybe. The verse delivery is just very cool and fluffy too. Is fluffy a good word for this? I don't know. Like mentioned, sometimes the English adjectives just won't come into my mind that I'm looking for. But it's such a fun track, okay? It's like so easy to listen to. Again, such a good quality that EXO and the members have. They're just so comfortable in the delivery that it just always works for me to listen to. And now especially with this, like mentioned, very comfortable beated instrumental. It's such a great listen, okay? And the chorus is just so catchy and addicting to do along. The way we also do the chorus here is also really cool, okay? The way we do first the group bit, then implement another member, like solo, and then do the group part again, you know, to like have this cool little contrast between each other so that you don't have it fully group nor like fully solo, you know. That just really works well. And then, like mentioned, the way we did the bridge there, where we keep the energy of the verse sound alive, but then like have this very short little interlude before we go back into it again with the energetic chorus sound. It's such a cool, fun song, okay? That's such really that beat sound on an album that it just always works for you. You can just always be in the mood for it. Basically similar to EXO XO, it just always works. You know, you don't gotta be in a specific mood for it to really feel it. You just always feel it. At least I do. But this chorus is so fun to do. 3, 6, 5. Three, 6, 5. Along this first part here, you know, just a 3, 6, 5. Everybody can do it. Just shout it along, you know. But whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, oh, oh. 3, 6, 5. Whoa, oh, 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 whoa, oh, oh. 3, 6, 5. It's so like. How can you not enjoy this? Okay, how can you not enjoy a chorus like this? Again, it's a very short song in comparison to some of the other songs on the album. The chorus is 2-sectional and it's full in all cases, where you once again just know, okay, the chorus is the. It's really actually no, Lucky was the one where the chorus had the majority of the sound. But like 3, 6, 5 just works so well for me. The chorus is addicting to do along. You can just sing along, have just a good time with it. It always works at any time and in any mood I could be in. 365 is just a perfect B-side, okay? Like mentioned, really probably only works as a B-side. I don't really think it, like mentioned, has that spectacularness that a title track needs, especially like that back then, you know, especially back then you wanted to be, you know, a bit more, you know, crazy and experimental with the title track releases. So 365 is a on-point B-side. Perfect length, the perfect tempo, the perfect energy, the perfect delivery. Probably alongside Don't Go thus far, my favorite piece out of the album. Really good. It's such a fun, simple, light-hearted sound that I always enjoy, no matter when. Good stuff, okay? That was really cool. That was really my direction. We move over to our second B-side of potentially this part / the 8th B-side overall, and that is Heart Attack. Let's find out how they are trying to give us one. What direction are we going for this time? Thus far, I think the way we tried around with concepts and variety, I think it's really good. You know, we had some softer songs I mentioned, more ballady direction, but also more aggressive ones, more energetic songs. I think there's been a good mixture thus far. Let's see how we continue with the final 4. Oh, very long intro. Again, this has such an early 2010s K-pop vibe to it. Ooh, what a nice beat picture here. Bit of a gritty synth now. Somewhat whistling type of extra melody there. Oh, give me that chorus song. Again, more of an anti-drop, where the energy does really rise. Very full and lengthy again, though. Well, yeah, I think this is, again, maybe one of those songs that just really work with the album really well. Get more of a spacey feeling to it, you know? There's very electronic sound picture here. Taking the switch up for the pre-chorus song. It's a good build-up. the drop does feel very calm still. Maybe because the tempo is just very, you know, normal. I think this is similar to Lucky, a sound and song that really works well as a in-between B-sides. We do use some auto-tune this time around, which is still fine here. It's not too overdone. Yeah. Similar to what I've talked about earlier. Some songs just aren't designed to be the standout songs that you listen to several times in a row, but just as very good listens within an album, and this is the case here. Instrumental do be cool though, but it's again such an easy listen. This is really one of EXO's biggest strengths. Oh, what a lengthy outro section now though. Like with just a little bit of ad-lib sprinkled in. That was actually very long though. Didn't even feel like it. Okay. So, Heart Attack is really the perfect example of two things yet again. We've talked about it in either part 1 or just early in the video already, like mentioned, that there are just some songs, especially on long albums like these, and it's totally fine, you know. It's really hard to make like a very long album like that, where every single song is like a huge highlight that you could listen to on its own the entire day through, okay? I really can't think of any album that really fully achieved that, outside of maybe some of my olds in Dreamcatcher, okay? Maybe I could consider the Dream of Language the case here, but otherwise I think every single cable album just has songs like these that are just good, you know? They're not really spectacular, they're not really mind-blowing or anything, but they also don't really feel like filler either, you know? They just take the usual quality of the group and boom, okay? They just know, hey, we know exactly how to do a song that is nothing too crazy, but we just know how to do a good song with these boys, so we just do that, right? To just fill out the album slots that way, basically, you know? But it still doesn't really feel like filler either, because it still feels different to the other songs we've had on this album, you know? Like mentioned, more of a calm, somewhat chill, spacey type of delivery, you know? Lucky was a bit more upbeat, basically, because Lucky was similar. Lucky and Heart Attack both feel like these type of B-sides that are just good and easy to listen to, but definitely aren't meant to be those big highlight B-sides that you would pick out of the album and put them into a different playlist or just listen to on its own, you know? Heart Attack is definitely not that, but it's still a good song. And again, such an easy song to listen to. And I said it before, or like to use the term background music, and people always think at first, it sounds negative. And I always say again, I always repeat that here because, you know, maybe people watch me for the first time and then, you know, hear me use that phrase and are like, what the hell are you saying? When I say background music, that's not a bad thing, because some songs just aren't really those that you need to focus on, nor that you really need to sing along with or anything. They just have a good vibe and a good feeling and just a comfortable sound to them that you just, you know, you play games, you gotta be focused on the game right there, but you like there's something going on in the background, you know, just a beat or whatever. Boom, Heart Attack is the perfect song for that, okay? Slash, within the album, it's such a good, nice listen in between potential big highlight songs. Like mentioned, 365 was definitely a big highlight for me on this album thus far, where you really know, okay, if I listen to this album from start to finish, this will definitely be the song in there that I would probably sing along with to the most, just because the chorus is that simple to do, you know? Like if I now listen to all these songs we've listened to thus far again in one listen without interruptions or anything, 365 would be the song that I listen to, like, or that I would hype alongside with the most. And then Heart Attack comes after that, and that works as a cool down for me, you know? Like the calming down effect, you know? This time around I won't like sing along that much or anything, but I just still vibe with it. And it just again shows that quality of EXO having just a comfortable vocal picture, that it's such a nice and easy listen. That's really the thing about most of these songs, like mentioned, outside of maybe Black Pearl, which was like mentioned very crazy in the grittiness. They have just very comfortable and easy to listen to voices, and Heart Attack is a perfect example of that. Heart Attack, a good B-side, Like mentioned, no big highlight nor spectacular, crazy anything. Just a very calm sound picture and design. It just works. It just really works as a B-side on a long album. It's definitely achieving what it's supposed to achieve, you know? It just really works as a good song in between of the rest. And it's totally fine to me. Heart Attack. Good. Enjoyed that. We have 3 more to go through. Yeah, 3 more. 3 more songs. Next one being Peter Pan, and that is a very, very intriguing song title. Like mentioned, I think a bit of the album is going into a like fairy tale / fantasy like style. We already like mentioned Black Pearl in there and everything, so Peter Pan also obviously goes in that. Maybe this will be a bit more of a light-hearted, sweet song, you know, because when I hear Peter Pan, I have to unfortunately think of the of the sad backstory of the voice actor from back then actually. Probably something not many people know, but added that obviously like this fairy tale and the fantasy aspect of it. So let's just go into it, okay? EXO's Peter Pan. Peter Pan? Do you say Peter Pan in English? In German you say Peter Pan. Peter Pan, not Peter. Let's go for it. Oh, actually also a bit of a rock influence. Very prominent drums still. Nice Dio opening here. Ooh, this chorus song, like the build up to it. It's like a very clear build up to the explosive chorus, right? Was this a pre-chorus? This is already a chorus? Ooh. Lovely picture though here. That's exactly what I expected here. It has like a similar tempo, but just feels much fuller and louder, without really being too loud, you know? There was the humming and background vocals here though. That's like, once again, so nice to listen to. Such a good, comfortable tempo. We are skipping the pre-chorus, although we have very long verses this time around instead, but it still works as a build-up, totally. Because now this section is also way faster than the first version of it, so it was the chorus. It's so nice to listen to actually. It's oh, the extra drums now though. This has a bit of a nostalgic feeling to it though. Whoa. Strong rap line delivery here. The overall goals. Oh! This is awesome. Oh. Oh no, okay, that ending was actually too abrupt. Oh, okay, did I feel that ending there? Oh, but the ending is actually very abrupt there. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. We definitely should have let the beat a bit run out there. But again, though, how was that 4 minutes long though? Boy. Ah, that abrupt ending there. You know what? That's what I mean sometimes. We went from totally being into it, you know, it's unfortunate because of the lyric video here, but like we go from fully into it to boom to something totally different within like 1 second or so. That's why you need outros on your songs, so that doesn't happen, so that you don't have this abrupt, you know, you're like so into and then boom, you're into something totally different, okay? Maybe it works with the B-side that comes after that and that has like an intro or something, but for this video was a bit unfortunate here right now, but wow! Okay, so I used the word nostalgic in between already. Like the way the chorus was done, everything, the way it has such this full lengthy melody with this very full, comfortable tempo, and the way we had this very, very full group harmony chorus there. It had something nostalgic to it, something you could hear as like an uplifting soundtrack in a movie, you know? But that ending part there, slash that finale to the song, the way we played around with duo harmonies and background vocals and switching around the members and everything, that was magic. Okay, basically the entire, like I said it already for the verse picture, it feels like such a lengthy build. I was already like, okay, that chorus must be special. The verses are like really good and everything, but you just really feel straight away, okay, we're building towards something. And it wasn't just building towards the chorus, we were actually building towards that finale, basically the entire time. Every time you listen to the song, anytime you hear or see, oh, Peter Pan is coming up next on the playlist or something like that, you will look forward to those final 60 seconds. Because that ending portion is pure magic. You saw my face be like, you know, my face just lifted up. My mouth was like, oh, because I just immediately knew, okay, that's special. That's special right there, okay? And I definitely want to listen to that entire final section again. Again, though, even without that, the song, again, has more of a just very comfortable listening factor to it. I think that's generally the theme for most of these B-sides here. Don't Go with 365 were definitely my highlights. Outside of that, Black Pearl was a bit more experimental. I think Light of the Beast can also be considered that. The other songs like Lucky, EXO XOXO, and Baby Don't Cry and everything are just really comfortable listens. You know, I think this album thus far, it's the best word to describe this album thus far is just comfortable. It's just a comfortable list. And the same can be said for that. Okay. Up until that ending section, it was one of those songs again, you know? Very comfortable, full experience there. The chorus is very long, just very, very enjoyable. But it needs something to make it feel special, or as like a highlight. And then we got to that point, you know? Up until that point, I was like, okay, great song. I'm thinking that a lot. Just another great addition to this album that just will be just a very good listen all the time, you know? But that ending section really made it a song similar to Don't Go to 365 that I can imagine myself listening to outside of the album. Not just as another B-side within the long album, but as something that I would pick out and add to a different playlist or listen on its own. That ending section was truly magical. The way we had, like mentioned, two singing together with one in the background and like really played around it with the members, switching them from Dio to Bacon in the background to Suho in the forefront, everything. That was just so magical. That's why we just listened to it in full again. And the lyrics are very nice too, actually. Rap line with Theo in the background to kick us off basically, but then it just keeps going. Chan, Dylan, Kai with Bacon background vocals. Now just Kai with Bacon. Kai sounds incredible here. Now Suho background vocals. Back to Sehun. Group chorus sounds with specific member forefront focus now. Dio and Bacon together. It really has something nostalgic in it. But again, definitely the only flaw there. You can't have such a lengthy, perfect finale section, then just cut it off like that. No, why? Why would you do that? Let it run out for 5 or 10 more seconds. The song is nearly 4 minutes long anyways. Those seconds won't, that additional length won't bother anybody. But that bothers me, okay? That's a bit unfortunate right there. I hope it will feel better on listens on its own. When then just like mentioned kicks into the wowing from the opening / into the next song on the album. But here in this lyric video, that feels really that doesn't really feel satisfying. But even if we put that out, it's not ruining at all. That's like mentioned, definitely lower the satisfying feel a little bit. But even with that, what a finale to this song. That really, like mentioned, evaluates the song from being another good B-side to being something truly special. Okay? EXO's Peter Pan, that final section there, the way we played around with the dual vocals and the way we played around with who's singing right there, the way we really implemented every single member in those final sections of the song, that was magic, okay? That was truly, truly magic. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I'm writing a little bit longer so then give you a full review later on. In case I forgot something that I said, because I mentioned I'm recording for nearly 2 hours here. But yeah, that was really freaking special. Good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. Okay, so that makes 3 B-sides thus far that are like really big highlights thus far for me within EXO, you know. Don't Go and Peter Pan for its magicness and specialness, and 365 just because it's a really fun song for me to listen and sing along to. And we have 2 more to go. We're still 2 more to go. Next one is Baby, and that's a very, very simple title. Okay, could mean anything. We already Baby Don't Cry on there, and I actually nearly forgot about this song. Okay, I had Baby Don't Cry already added to the watch list here and everything, and then I nearly started this with just 10 songs instead of 11 because I forgot, oh, we have another song with Baby in the title in here. And it's this one. So let's see what EXO does with the title Baby. Let's check it out, okay? Second to last song on the album. Ooh, this has a cuddle vibe to it. This is like a cuddle song. Ooh, like this dual section here. Okay, actually I'll drift a bit away from it. From this like very low-key cuddle vibe. Never mind. That section's on nice. Making the register, that was nice. The verse picture is very chill. Still sounds really nice here. This beat really lets the voice shine. Chan, you'll love the Suho is so cool. I love, like mentioned, these big differences in the vocal colors, but I really like this Sehun Dio pre-chorus. It's really nice. And the way the Dio vocal transitions over into the chorus, that's really nice. Wait, it actually does kind of... It actually does kind of sound like the one from JB, huh? When did Justin Bieber's Baby release? I think much earlier, right? Like that baby section there was a Suho really got a lot of shine in this. Like throughout the album, there's really many cool sections. Now this, like mentioned, very classic. You can tell it's the electronic feeling here. The way every single chorus like work throughout, or like work into a Dio vocal is really cool. Yeah, that part reminds me a little bit. Definitely. Like, it's not fully copied, but it definitely has a... Where's... Where's the Bacon Dio album? Where is it? Why isn't it here yet? Why haven't we gotten it yet? That was also maybe 4 minutes. Okay, some of these songs, like mentioned, we said it earlier. Let Out the Beast felt so long without it actually being that way. And then we have, like mentioned, these songs that are really long but don't feel like that way. You know, the exact opposite. Yo, seriously though, how have we not gotten a Dio Bacon album yet? How? Like a duo album, you know, as a subunit. I do like mention that Chenya Seon had like a duo subunit, so not impossible, but maybe they thought, you know, because they have most lines generally, we don't need them to have a duo release together. But oh, did the ending section sound nice? So it actually evaluated the song a lot there. I think this ending section here with Dio and Bacon like really was such a the cherry on top again, you know, because Baby, similar to Heart Attack or Lucky, is again a very, very, can you call it a B-sidey feeling? I don't know, but all of you know what I mean when I say this song just sounds and feels like a B-side. No, it just sounds like a song that just is produced to be just a very good addition to a long album. I've explained it now 2 times already, so I won't go into detail about it too much again, but Baby's definitely the type of song that just works so well in an album and will just be the type of song you don't pick out specifically to listen to a lot, even though it definitely goes more into that direction because it actually does have a bit of a chill, low-key, cuddle vibe to it, while the chorus actually goes a bit more stronger again. So not entirely, but especially the verse picture is very, very chill, very, very nice and comfortable. There's that word again. All songs are just very comfortable to listen to because EXO just sounds great. But yeah, it's definitely not a song that I would just very, very much enjoy when it comes onto the album. But probably now, unlike now Peter Pan, 365 or Don't Go, that I would like say, we're taking that specifically out there, or like, you know, we open Spotify specifically for it. You know, I don't think it's that type of song, but it's again another just solid song. Okay, there's not been one song on this album that makes me go, oh, that was boring, or that was not enjoyable, or like, whatever, I probably skip that. That's really the one thing here. Like mentioned, the only song on this album that I'm really unsure about yet, that I definitely will need some time on to really judge how I feel about it, will be Black Pearl, because it's a bit more experimental and very different compared to the other songs. But this album generally has been such a good listen. There's really no song that's far that makes me go, I don't want to listen to this again. Each song makes me go, hey, I want to listen to this album again just to, you know, feel it in one listen. Because obviously the album reaction like this with a lot of talking in between, it's not as good as an experience as just listening to it in one sitting with you, like, you know. So yeah, Baby's really nice. That Bacon Dio section there at the end really makes me want a duo album with them together. They just complement each other so well. That was such, it sounded so good. But everybody else sounded really great. Like mentioned, I love that Suho has been getting a lot of shine in this because it felt, especially in the later title tracks, that he never really got too many lines, like really like 10 seconds in a row, you know, which is understandable because distributions can't be easy all the time, you know. Like, can't be giving each other, you just can't give everybody in a 9-member group that much lines all the time, you know, for these side tracks. So here on these B-sides, you really get these type of moments and sections from each member. So really nice, you know, to see that. EXO's Baby, another very, very enjoyable B-side on this incredible album. And we've reached the finale. We just reached the end, okay? I'm definitely a bit tired, but I'm still ready for the final. That is my lady, okay? Let's wrap up this huge and long album in style with the final 11th B-side. Jesus Christ. Let's go for it. I think this is actually the album with the most songs I've reacted to. I've listened to it. There have been albums with more B-sides, but this is definitely the album with the most B-sides I've been reacting to. Or, wait, never mind. I think I'm lying. I think there was a bigger one. Whatever. Let's go.
She's my baby.
Looks like we're ending the album with a calmer note, which is always good. Can we get a DL comeback actually this year too? If we don't get an EXO group comeback? Oh! Ooh. Oh, I love the simple beat picture here. Very nice guitar. Ooh, I'm a slave for it. Oh, vocabulary. Always feels like the strongest words you can use, you know, for to describe love. I'm a slave for her love. Ooh. Oh, that's a lot of Dio and Bacon. Is it to do a song or what? Nope, it's not, but... Oh! Oh! Oh, such a lengthy chorus with such an engageable melody. Oh. This is such a lovely summer sound. This really feels like a great relaxing summer song. Oh, I think this song won't have a third chorus song, right? Are we bidding? Yeah, okay. A very long picture here, but... This chorus is so nice. The fourth part with Bacon though is so good. I think we just add another half here, right? And then close it. Never mind. Okay, I actually like the way we did this, you know? Again, for those that don't always watch me, usually I always want a bridge and a third chorus and everything, but sometimes there are songs where it works with only having two choruses, and this is definitely a good portrayal of how to do it. Especially because there are so many songs on the album that actually have 3 choruses and always in full and everything, so only having the chorus here in 2.5 basically really worked for me nonetheless. Okay, so EXO's My Lady is again such a comfortable listen. It's really the best word to describe both this album and the group in general. Comfortable. It's such an easy, nice listen, and I think this is definitely a song that I could see myself listen to outside of the album, but also add to a summer playlist, you know? It isn't really a typical summer song, you know, like not at all, but just this very lighthearted and simple guitar with a still very good tempo due to the bass and everything, just really makes for such a great tempo and vibe, you know? It really just has that vibe of just chilling in the garden, sun raining down on you, just you leaning back and just, you know, or just being with your friends. I think this is really a good song for this type of environment. It's definitely a summer vibe, which definitely makes it feel like something I could listen to outside of the album, where I really go like, hey, I have this gem in my mind right now, you know, this one B-side of this huge long album. My lady, this song is really, really nice for the summer, let's listen to it, okay? That's definitely the vibe I'm getting from it, and that's a good thing, you know? My lady's really nice. And like mentioned, it's also refreshing in the sense that we're produced, because while we had like mentioned so many full choruses and especially done 3 times in some of the other B-sides on this album now said, okay, and like I realized that in between, okay, oh, we won't be doing like a classic construction. We do way longer verse pictures and everything, to then have like, I thought we would end it exactly after the second chorus, but no, we actually did one half of the chorus again, just because it sounds great, and then do a little outro section there. It even still reach 3.5 minutes that way, you know? Like the way we did that here. Bacon and Dio sounded absolutely incredible throughout, as it did definitely kind of feel like these two featuring the others in sense of line distribution, but it was totally okay to me because the rap line still sounded really good in the second verse, still sounded once again really, really great and had a good shine nonetheless. And the chorus itself is also really cool. This na 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 da da, you know, doing that 4 times, and then 4 times after that, one member getting a single along the line with a good vocal empathizes delivery on that too. Such a good chorus, you know. And like mentioned, only doing it 2.5 times this time around, and therefore like really leaving more space between the choruses really works well. That's like one of these things that can make these songs work well, you know. These are mostly the type of songs where it works for me when we don't have a third chorus, because we actually then make the verses feel long and everything, you know. But like keeping the length basically the same of like the normal times in full songs, but then just cut it at the end and have the song be like 220, 230, that's unsatisfying for me. But here we really did it well. We really said, okay, we only do chorus 2.5 times around, and don't do the classic construction like we did in the previous B-sides, but instead then therefore increase the length of the other stuff of the song, which sound really good, and make it full that way. That would be really nice for me. And yeah, I think My Lady, alongside the other 3 I've mentioned already earlier, is probably my highlight. In sense of, you know, just the type of song I could picture myself listening to a lot outside of this album, you know? And definitely a good ending choice too, because like I mentioned, I always think ending an album on a more calmer, softer note is always better, you know, to have really this cool down effect at the end before we then boom, jump back into it, you know. And like mentioned, this thing is now 13 songs strong, so this is definitely an album that you take your time for. But we go now more into that, because we've reached the album review part of the album. Now, I got my notes out here. We go slightly through each song again, and then I tell you how I think of it as a whole. Because it's 13 songs long, okay? Because it's 13 songs long, outside of like mentioned to the other language versions, everything, it's a very, very long album. I actually unfortunately can't tell you the exact length, because on Spotify it actually includes the Chinese version. So I would probably have to just half that here, which is in this case 1 hour and 38 minutes. That would mean that the actual album itself is around 50 minutes. Right? 38, 19, yeah, around 50 minutes. 49 if you like mention take out the other language version. Let's say around 45 minutes. Around 45 to 50 minutes is the length of this album. And that's a lot. That's where I always, like mentioned, describe the difference between full albums to mini albums and single albums. Single albums are usually something that, if it's only 1 or 2 songs, you can either loop that if you want to, or add it to other playlists, you know? Mini albums always say, hey, we're usually 15, 20 minutes. Throw in as much variety as you want there, just be as creative as you can. As simple isn't that you could do like twice, 3 times in a row without investing too much time for it, you know. For a full album like this that really goes close to the 1 hour mark, you really need to be smart in the way you do the track list and in the way you do your songs, because it's a lot of time investment to listen to this in one sitting. Obviously, if you do something else in between, you know. But like, let's say somebody really just says, I want to listen to this album just on its own, just laying on my bed, just listening to this album, doing nothing else in between and just vibe with this. You need to be smart in that way to do it. And I think this album offers a lot of variety And I think the tracklist was done also works really well. We have, like mentioned, the two title tracks. I have not listened to Wolf yet too much, I will be honest with you. Like when I listened to it in the reaction, I was a bit weirded out by the ad-libs and everything. And since then I've maybe listened to it 2 or 3 more times. I think I will have to give it a bit more time to see if I really like it or not. I don't really have given it like the opportunity yet to grow on me. I maybe should do that now going forward. Growl, on the other hand, fantastic song. Okay, Growl is a perfect song. Then we go into the B-sides. XOXO, very nice listen, great tempo, great feeling, great delivery, just a very, very nice song. Okay, it's a very simple, comfortable listen. That will be the theme of the album in general to me, because it's such a long length, they really added in a lot of songs that aren't necessarily the big highlights, the big differences, or like the big, variety bringers, but just the songs that are just really good to listen to, just really work within an album. Lucky is one of those. Immediately after that, worked really well, just enjoyable. Baby Don't Cry, a bit of a more sadder / haunting ballad. It doesn't really go into this soft uplifting feeling, but instead a bit more of a darker tone. Not going too deep into that either, but it's definitely a bit different, and therefore it's definitely something that you can like point out with the album. Because after that comes, like mentioned, Black Pearl. Definitely needs more re-listens to really judge it for me. I can't tell you, like mentioned, if it would be something that feels out of place outside of the, like mentioned, more normal, calmer songs. If it may not grow on me, it would be a song I could consider skipping or even muting when listening to the album. But I will see about, like mentioned. Maybe it will be a song that now, after I've listened to it 5 times in a row, will be like, damn, that thing is awesome. That's a highlight for me. I will listen to it several times outside of the album. We will see. Okay, can't really judge it yet, but it's definitely, like mentioned, a highlight just in the sense of the variety and the idea behind it. The creativity, the artistry. So that's definitely a good thing. After that, a highlight of the album for me for sure. Don't Go. Very special ballad, extremely lovely melody in there. There's a reason why it's apparently still so popular nowadays, that it gets covered on competition shows. Truly a special song in the middle of the album. Loved it, okay? Like, we really started with, like mentioned, a bit more of an experimental title track, then a very full-on-point song and B-side in Growl and XOXO, very classic B-side in Lucky, then Baby Don't Cry and Black Pearl going a bit more into a different route. That's basically the first half, Then we go into this very, very nice ballad song with Don't Go. Then Let Out the Beast, definitely the most rap-influenced song of the album, definitely the most aggressive and mean tone, basically. Worked really well for me too. It's a bit different in the way the ending was done is also a bit different and creative, so that will also need a bit more re-listens to really fully get into it, but it was a very enjoyable on the first listen immediately. 365, a great energetic sound. It's a very just upbeat sound. It's just a lot of fun to not just listen to but sing along to. Definitely a personal highlight for me too. For many people it may just be a very typical rock song, but that's exactly my thing, so it really is a standout for me that way. Heart Attack is similar to Lucky for me, a very calm electronic sound picture without any too crazy vocals or any big highlights within the song itself. It's just a good B-side within an album, okay? I think Lucky and Heart Attack are definitely the most generic sound pictures that are still enjoyable to listen to. They don't bore me, but they're definitely the most normal songs on the album in that sense, but still work really well as a song in the album. Then Peter Pan came in, and especially that ending section really made it stand out for me, a truly special song, and alongside Don't Go and 365, probably my highlight of the album, and definitely the songs I would probably listen to the most from it. Then Baby, similar to Lucky and Heart Attack, is just a very chill vibe all the way through, just a very lengthy vibe that just drags itself throughout the entire of the song. Just really works that way, and it's basically a good fade out for the finale, which then ends up being My Lady, which is also a personal favorite of mine from the album, because it has such a nice calm summer vibe to it that I think I could listen to, or like pick out of the album, listen to on its own, rather than just as the finale of the album, even though it works really well for that. So we start off with the two title tracks, one a bit more experimental, one really on point, followed by another on point B-side, then another B-side that is a great, like mentioned, not really filler, but it just really works only as a B-side there. Baby Don't Cry, a more special ballad that really goes into a bit of a different direction. Black Pearl, very experimental, gritty, heavy sound that sounds cool. Don't Go, special ballad feeling. The Letter to Beast goes a bit more heavier, Freezing Stars a bit more energetic. And with Heart Attack, Peter Pan, Baby, My Kenny, we then faded out a little bit more. So we really have a cohesive listen throughout this. I think there was no case in the album where like the B-sides, one after another, feel like, you know, too big of a stretch of difference from one to another. I mean, Black Pearl obviously into Don't Go is definitely a big switch up for sure, but like the fact that Don't Go comes after it works much better, because after you had such a loud explosive sound to then cool down that way with a ballad like that, that obviously works very well, better than the other way around, to go from, you know, calm to, you know. So I really need to say that EXO's XOXO, no, XOXO/Growl is a very, very solid album with nearly the half of it being a highlight for me. Okay, so if you now look at the 13 songs on it, there are 5 songs that I would especially point out because I really like them a lot. Those being Growl, XOXO, Don't Go, 365, Peter Pan, actually 6, and My Lady. So 6 of the 13 songs on this album are songs that I like especially enjoyed on the first listen, you know. Then we still have other songs on there where I'm like, hey, really enjoyable, especially in the album. And also some songs that are just very, very creatively very nice and worth to be mentioned, as like mentioned Black Pearl, you know. So we really have, in my view, a lot of good songs on this that I would even listen to outside of the album, that I would like open Spotify for and say, okay, let's now listen to this specific song right there. And even the other half of that album is still something that I will always enjoy listening to, that won't bore me, and therefore create a long, full, cohesive album that just doesn't disappoint at one point throughout the entire listen. Has a lot of variety to offer, a lot of creativity and switch-ups. Nonetheless, you know, like mentioned, the songs that are a bit more of a B-side feeling, you know, that just really only work as albums, are still very distinguished from one another. So Lucky is very early on, and then Heart Attack and Baby come more at the end, you know. So there isn't really it doesn't really feel like you have like 3 filler songs in a row, you know. We really did the tracklist in a good way, where you really feel like, hey, they really put effort into this. They really wanted to make this feel special. They really want this to be a long, fulfilling album experience. Therefore, I can definitely consider XOXO/Growl a really, really damn good album that makes me really excited to check out more of EXO's releases in the future. Woo! Okay, if I now decide to make this one video, which I don't know yet, then this will be very long, nearly 2 hours. But it was worth it, you know. The energy drink is nearly empty. Exhausting for the voice, but very enjoyable for the heart and for the mind. I had so much fun going through this entire album in detail. I had a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed it a lot, and I hope you EXO enjoyed my reaction and review. If you did, go ahead and like down below to show me that you did. What are your thoughts on the entire album? What is your favorite B-side? Tell me all thoughts about it down below in the comments as well. And as always, if you enjoy what I'm doing, if you want to support me, then you can gladly leave a sub as well. Also pop on Patreon, or leave a super thanks on YouTube. It would help me a lot. Now, we like mentioned it the last catching up on EXO not too long ago, and I gave you 2 hours worth of extra reaction content. I think I will go a bit more, you know, we're back now. Maybe the next one will be in like 2 to 3 weeks, something like that. We have a lot of other content coming up too, and a lot of comics and everything. So, you know, just basically now a big EXO reaction here for you to you know, I will give you time before we get to the next one. We still like so many performances, so many more albums, so much solo content to go through still. Nonetheless, I still want to do Zolo's most recent album as soon too. I just don't know about copyright yet. We will see. As mentioned, a lot of other great K-pop content coming up. So for whatever content you may be interested in, for whatever content you may want you in for, I'll be seeing you again soon on this channel. Stay safe, have been happy. Have a great time, have a great start into the week, and see you again soon with more EXO or the K-pop reactions. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great time.